Welcome to the Don't Get Fooled Show with Big Red Ace. Let's go, Ace.
Bam. All right, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Don't Get Fooled Show, coming off Thanksgiving weekend and a wild NFL week. NFL on Thanksgiving Day. Unreal. Not seen that type of Thanksgiving Day in a long time, so can't wait to get into that. And it's going to be a packed episode, so stay tuned. Let's start you guys off with the quote of the day. Quote of the day. There's nothing wrong with fear. The only mistake is to let it stop you in your tracks. Once again, quote of the day. There's nothing wrong with fear. The only mistake is to let it stop you in your tracks. Tyla Tharp, choreographer. Big Ree, what do you think about this quote of the day? Because I find it very interesting and I want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, it goes back to my quote that I always use. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So,
yeah, basically what it's saying is fear. Your fear can stop you from doing great things.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think the main thing is not even stop you from doing great things, stop you in general, right?
Yeah.
Because you know there's so many things that you might want to do or think about doing, or even on the other way, you're scared of something so badly, right?
Yeah.
And it stops you from making a move, and it's just the fear in you that you're worried about that. And if you can just kind of put the fear aside, and you just never know how things can play out.
Yeah.
Something you thought you were so afraid of was nothing.
Exactly,
was absolutely nothing. And you know, shout out. This quote is related to, you know, Javi.
I was just gonna say that. You took it out of my mouth.
Yeah, Javi sent us something recently, and is right on track, right? And so, you know, sometimes fear can overtake. So don't let fear get the best of you guys. Just gotta, you know, just block that out and just go with what you feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was great though, whatever Javi sent.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but it was great. All right, Big Reed, let's get into, you know, a recap of last week. It was a complete doozy of a college football week for us. We went 1-5.
I went 1-2. It was just terrible for me. I went 1-2 in NFL. I don't know what to say. I mean, I was trash. I'll just say that.
Well, just a bad week, Big Reed. What can you say? I mean, I went 0-3 in college. I had USC minus 21.5. They won by 19. I had Tulane minus 29.5. They won by 27. You know, and then the one game that I was like, James Madison should blow these guys out so they can get to the conference championship and have a chance at the thing. And I was like, I felt like maybe some backdoor cover, and they got blown. They just blew them out in the second half. It was 20-10 at half. I think it ended 59-10.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, made up for it in NFL. 3-0 in NFL. You went 1-2. We're 4-2 overall in NFL. So NFL was good. It just, you know, it just happens, right? Like I look back at the USC game, and I don't regret that pick. They benched the receivers in the first quarter, messed up the whole momentum. Second half, they came through. Yeah. I didn't think Nico was going to play for UCLA. He played. So,
yeah, stuff happens.
You know, it is what it is. Tulane was 21-0 at half, 21-0 at halftime, or, you know, and then they put up 6 points in the whole second half. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I never like to lose, but it is what it is. But yeah, let's get into, you know, some of the big discussions in college football. I'm going to start you off with the big news is Lane Kiffin has announced that he is going to be the new head coach at LSU, Big Ree. First of all, I guess my first question is, what do you think about him moving on to LSU?
Good for him. Better program for sure. And I'm sure Ole Miss was going to match the money, but
100%.
I don't think Ole Miss was going to match the money he's going to get to spend on NIL deals. So that's where a factor comes in. And I don't know if this is true, but I heard it. He's literally telling his whole coaching staff, "You're coming with me now."
Yeah, I mean, I believe that, and I guess we'll get into that. But I want to start off with just, I think, you know, look, Lane Kiffin, this guy, whether you like him or not, he's a winner. and he's been a winner everywhere he's gone, right? Tennessee, he was a winner. He had 7-6. He was a winner at USC. Didn't meet expectations, but he was a winner there. He had a winning record. Then he went on to Florida Atlantic. He was a winner there. And then 6 years at Ole Miss, he's a winner. So you cannot argue. The guy's a winner. He knows how to coach. He's obviously from a football family with his father. And so, look, the guy's a really good coach. And I think this was a stepping stone. A guy like him is very ambitious. He's still, a young guy, right? And he's very ambitious and wants to be known as one of the best coaches of all time. And in order to be known as one of the best coaches, you have to coach that's what's known as one of the best programs, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in college, you can be really good. I mean, Ole Miss is an SEC school. It's a big school.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not going to attract the type of talent that LSU, Alabama, Georgia, USC, Michigan are going to attract. That's just the reality. And so I don't blame him. He got paid, I think, 7 years, $84 million, plus all these other bonus incentives. Even going to pay him $500K above his house that he has in Ole Miss in Oxford to buy a new house in Baton Rouge. So it's a great sweet deal. It's like a Lincoln Riley deal that Lincoln Riley got. I mean, you can't blame the guy. And so good for him. I think he deserved it after he got booted from USC. And then the Raider job he got booted from. There's a lot of things, and good for Lane, man. I love a comeback story. I love a guy that can build himself back up, and I'm happy for him. And so I guess the second thing that gets into it is kind of related to what you said is like, hey, they said that he's not going to coach Ole Miss in the college football playoffs. And then he made it clear that Ole Miss stated, hey, they're not going to allow me to coach. It's their decision, not mine. And so, I mean, there's rumors around there that are saying, hey, well, look, they don't want him to be around the program because he's going to start trying to poach all the players and all the coaches. And that's why they don't want him around. But I think that's BS because that's going to happen anyways.
Exactly.
They have all the numbers.
Exactly.
The assistant coaches could recruit the players. So that's nonsense. Like, that's going to happen anyways. And I feel like the big losers here are all the players. They worked their butts off to get here. They had probably the best season in program history. And I said they're right up there with, I think, Ohio State, Georgia, and then I put Ole Miss. I put Ole Miss over Indiana, even though they're number 2. And I think it's a shame that the players are not going to be able to, see the season out. I mean, what are your thoughts there, Big Ree?
Yeah, they should have let him coach it out, especially if he wanted to. And like you said, he's going to get in contact with them. There's social media, there's emails, there's phones, there's everything where form of contact.
Yeah. I think, we're not going to let him coach is going to stop that nonsense. I think the bigger issue here is, hey, the NCAA needs to fix this. There needs to be a window that you cannot sign a new head coach. That's just got to be it. That's it. Meaning the season ends, and then 2 weeks after the season, you can't until that's when you can sign a new coach. So that gives everybody an even playing field that, okay, the season has ended, say, January 20th, for example, and now you can't sign a new head coach until February 5th. And so that gives everybody an opportunity to start reaching out to anybody they want and make things happen. I think that's the problem. That's why he's signing now. They're putting pressure on him. We got to find another coach. They're going to go with somebody else. And this is a bigger NCAA problem. And then you made a very good point that a lot of this is not only now in this new NIL era that, hey, what is your budget for NIL? Because what type of players are you going to be able to attract? Now it's just it's a free agent system. You can buy your players. And so if the school doesn't have a big, pool for NIL, hey, you got a disadvantage versus everybody else. And so I haven't looked into the details of, I don't know if that's even public on what the NIL availability fund is for each of these schools, but that's a big deal that you may point out. But, I guess my last question, in the next 5 years, does LSU win a national championship with Lane Kiffin?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Interesting. I think he's going to be a contender. I mean, I don't think it's going to take long. I think in year 2, year 3, they're going to be in the playoffs. I don't know about year 1, but year 2 or 3, they'll be in the playoffs. I think they'll be winning 8-9 games every year, and they'll get 10-11 wins, and they'll be in the playoffs. I mean, Lane Kiffin is proven. But I personally think this is my read is his experience at Tennessee, USC, the Raiders is very, and then the Alabama situation that didn't end well over there is kind of humbled him a little bit, to be honest. And he's more mature. He's a different guy than he was 15 years ago, and I think he's ready to be the top 5 coach in college football. And so I'm excited for Lane Kiffin. Congrats to Kiffin, and we'll see what happens. And big thing. The one question I want to ask you is: look, Texas beat Texas A&M last week. They upset, the first loss for Texas A&M, number 3 at the time. Texas is 9-3. Their only losses on the season, they lost 14-7 to Ohio State in week 1, 29-21 to Florida at Florida, and 35-10 at Georgia. All 3 losses on the road. Do they deserve to be in the college football playoffs? And one more thing is their best wins are they beat Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, and Texas A&M. Do they deserve to be in the playoffs?
Yes, I think they do, because their losses aren't too bad besides Florida, but their wins are impressive. They just beat number 3 team and the former number 3 team in the country.
Yeah, I mean they got 3 really good wins: Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, and Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And Florida's a bad loss, but it's on the road. And then Ohio State and Georgia are, in my opinion, the top 2 teams in college. So, I mean, I personally think that Texas is probably a better team than a lot of other teams that are going to make the playoffs. I think it's really tough when you have 3 losses.
Yeah.
Because there's just going to be too much complaining. Like, hey, you had your opportunity. You lost 3 times, right? Like, you might be a better team, but you lost 3 times. Like, that's your opportunity. You lost 3 times.
Yeah.
What can we say? And so, I think it can go either way at this point. I think how the conference championship games play out will determine, right?
Right.
So it might go, if Georgia beats Alabama and Alabama has 3 losses, I can guarantee you that both Alabama and Texas are not going to the playoffs. They're not going to put 3-loss teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So then it might go between which of these 2 is going to go in, right?
Yeah, and Alabama is way ahead of
Texas.
Alabama gets like the benefit of the doubt from the committee.
Yeah, I mean and we'll get into Alabama. I think they're but and they beat Georgia, right? They beat Georgia in the regular season. So yeah, I mean my personal opinion is I just don't think Texas is going to make it. I think they're a good team, but I think you can't overcome 3 losses. And you don't have one more opportunity like Alabama, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have that one you're going to show the committee in a really good conference championship game. That's it. Their season is done unless they can somehow make the conference championship, unless they can make the playoffs. But I don't think they are. So, that's my thought, Big Ree. Let's get into the BS segment of the show. The Thanksgiving, Big Ree. Me and Big Ree celebrated Thanksgiving together. It was a really, really good Thanksgiving. A lot of fun, family, friends.
Yeah, for sure.
Great time. I want to start off the show, give a shout out to our boy Sleepy Floyd.
Yeah.
Came through with the air fryer or the fryer to deep fry the turkey.
Yeah.
Put a lot of work in there. That was a whole process.
Yeah.
And I was watching the whole thing and took I think about 3 hours to set up, to get the oil all ready.
Oh, he did it at your house?
Yeah.
Oh,
he did the whole thing. Yeah. He did it there. Yeah. He did it at the house. And so I give him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had the whole process down. And that turkey was fire.
Yeah, it was.
Deep fried turkey. That was good. How did you enjoy all the food?
Everything was amazing. Only one small, very minor thing.
What's up?
We were talking about sides last week, and we did not have mash.
Unfortunately, we did not have mash. We had some other type of potato, like baked potato situation, but it was even like a gourmet baked potato kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I wasn't too mad, but I was just like, oh, mash.
You got to have mash. I agree. That was disappointing. What were some of the sides that you really liked?
The salad was actually pretty good.
The salad was good. It was like a broccoli,
Yeah.
apple, something else in there, but the salad was not bad.
Tomato pie is always good. Never disappoints.
No, tomato pie was fire.
Yeah.
Tomato pie was really good. That was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I had multiple servings of mac and cheese. The mac and cheese was good.
Yeah, it was.
It was cheesy.
Yeah.
It was real cheesy. There's one other item that I really liked.
Talking about the green beans?
That was good. What did you think of that?
Yeah, that was good.
But there was one other item that I had a double serving of.
Was it those red things? I forgot what they're called.
The beets?
Yeah.
No, it was not the beets. I had one serving of the
candy
beets.
yams?
I had one serving of the candy yams.
What else is there?
Trying to think, what was that second? The cornbread only had one serving, which
I
was
only
good.
had one serving of cornbread, trying to cut down on the carbs.
Yeah.
Fat ass needs to lose weight.
I'm trying to think, what else did I? There was one other item that I went back, and on that last trip, I went back for thirds.
Oh, shoot.
A third plate of only sides. And they're like, you're still going back for food, right? Like at the table, they're like, you're getting more? And I was like, yeah. I was like, why not? You know, like, why not? It's Thanksgiving. But I can't think, what was that third side that I was getting? It was tomato pie, mac and cheese, and there's one other item that I got. And that's all I went back for.
Yeah.
But yeah, the food was good. Everything was good. Turkey was good. I know there was supposed to be some salmon on the menu. Someone was going to bring some salmon.
Yeah, I guess
in case there's any pescatarians in the house, but they didn't end up bringing the salmons.
I guess we don't have any more pescatarians.
I guess not. It wasn't a big thing. What about the dessert?
Oh man, I was a little hurt by the dessert, to be honest.
Why? Just
because we didn't have the original pumpkin pie.
Yeah, from the Costco.
It doesn't have to be Costco. There was no regular pumpkin pie.
Yeah, it was.
You got to have a regular pumpkin pie on your dessert table. I don't care if the other one you think is better. You need to have the OG one.
I agree, It's Thanksgiving. We had the cream cheese or whatever.
Cream cheese one, whatever.
Which it was good, but it was not the original. I agree. You got to have the original pumpkin pie. What about the pecan pie? Did you have a slice of that?
I had a small slice. It was mediocre. It's not comparable to Costco.
Where was it from?
Mary Callender's.
No, even the pecan was?
Every pie was Mary Callender's.
Okay, got it. Yeah. I had the chocolate sand pie. That was good.
Yeah, I had that. That was a little too sweet. It was good though.
I do like that. And I had the pumpkin pie. That was good. But one thing that was missing on the dessert table that normally we have at the Thanksgiving that I was a little bit disappointed. There was no Rice Krispies. No Rice Krispie treats.
I think we were just cutting down on the sweets overall this year. Everyone's trying to look out. And then we have like other old folks there too we're looking out for.
The elders. But
the unks.
But I don't know, Rice Krispies. I need to get some Rice Krispies, man.
Yeah. Overall, it's more about meeting with your family and spending time with your friends and family, to me personally.
That's what it is. And that was great. That was accomplished.
And shout out to every single person who organized this and cooked anything. Thank you very much. Everyone knows who they are.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And it was a great evening. Only thing I would say is the football game was a complete doozy.
Yeah, I took the Ravens, man. And man, that was just, I was just like, I kept thinking they're going to at least make it a game. And then I saw a post that Derrick Henry did not get a single snap in the second quarter. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah.
I don't know.
These guys, Lamar does not know how to protect the ball. Just so many things went wrong. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for the Ravens.
I hate to say it, but Lamar just looked like complete crap. Looked like he ate too much damn turkey and too much food and was not even thinking about this game.
Oh, man.
But what does that mean? That he played so bad, and I think it was that means they're probably going to come out and put a complete whooping this week.
And it just shows that's why Joe Burrow is better than Lamar. When that debate comes up, this guy came back, wasn't 100%, and beat you on your turf,
belt to ass, literally, belt to ass, and on your home turf on Thanksgiving. And yeah, I mean, honestly, we'll get into it, but it seems like it's just a changing of the guard, Big Ree.
Yeah.
All these teams, the Ravens, the Chiefs, just look like crap. Is what it is, Big Ree. But yeah, Thanksgiving was great. I mean, can't wait till now we're in December officially, so it's gonna be we got the holiday season in.
Yeah, I'm
Christmas,
already
New Year's.
trying to cut down, but I'm like, oh shit.
It's tough. It's tough, Big Ree. Just this last week, my eating habits have gone pretty bad.
Yeah, my boss is like, yeah, our holiday party's coming up. I was like, oh gosh.
Oh man, where are we gonna go for the DGF holiday party?
We should ask Javi. He has a big say in this.
Yeah, we'll ask Coffee where he wants to go. I'm thinking about a steak dinner, Big Ree. What do you think about that?
Maybe
steak dinner. Where else could we go for like where's a place that we would go for like a holiday dinner? We're not talking about just a dinner to go out.
Maybe Big Al's. So we were talking about that the other day.
We've been talking about Big Al's. Just get a bunch of pizza and wings. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's some gourmet pizza that you're getting. You're gonna get. You're gonna pay
good money too.
You're paying for that. I'm kind of over at this point for right now. I'm over Korean barbecue.
I am too. It's got to be at least 6 months span.
Yeah,
because they really effed up last time. Sorry, you guys, but yo.
Yeah, I'm just over that. And I don't know. I just feel like a steak and size just meets the criteria for a holiday party.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll figure it out. We'll talk to Javi and see, what he wants. I think Javi should pick.
Yeah.
And all right. Let's get into NFL, Big Ree. It was a wild. First of all, wild NFL Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
Between Thanksgiving and Black Friday. All the underdogs won.
Yeah.
And completely killed the survivor pools for everybody, especially the Circa Survivor. I think it went from like 900 entrants left to 50.
Yeah.
Overnight, and that's a juicy contest. Anybody that's in that. I hope if somebody's still in there, please comment. I hope someone, one of the DGF fam is still in there. Because that's a juicy, like $18 million pool?
Yeah. For sure.
But 6 more weeks. I mean, every week, man, imagine you still got an entry. I think the value of each entry they're saying is worth like $400,000 at this point.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Man, that's juicy. Imagine you got 400K entry. I wish, dude, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
But wild weekend in NFL. Let's start off really. I mean, I just want to get into the Friday game.
Okay.
The Eagles, they lost to the Bears. 24-15, Big Ree.
Yeah.
And the Rams, who everyone was like, oh, they're the best team in the NFL, lost 31-28 on the road to Carolina. Eagles lost at home, 24-15. What's the worst loss there? What's the worst loss?
Rams, for sure, because the Bears were hot and they were coming, and I believe they were at home, right? No,
Bears were on the road.
Bears were on the road, yeah, but still, it's still got to be the Rams, because the Rams we were arguing where the Rams. Last week was the Rams the best team?
Yep.
And I said yes.
Yep.
And then you lose on the road. I mean, the Panthers aren't terrible, but they're not a great team either.
Yeah.
So you were a 10.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I mean the Rams obviously 10.5-point favorite. I thought they were the best team in NFL. Carolina is a much better team this year, and they're really better team at home. But Rams, you can't lose that. And it was they had their chance to tie it up, and Matthew Stafford had that horrible fumble. I mean, you had 3 points in the bag right there that you're going to go to overtime at the minimum. And then the Eagles, everyone wants to talk about the Eagles, and it's not that. First of all, this game was much closer than it looks because it was 24-15 final. But first of all, the Bears were 8-1 in their last 9 games. So it's not like you're playing some scrub team.
Yeah.
The Bears were a really good team. And this was a 10-9 game, right? In the end of the third, and then, Eagles are about to score. Eagles are about to score and take the lead, and Jalen Hurts fumbles at the 11-yard line. And so, and then they missed a field goal in the fourth to get it to within one possession. So I think the Eagles will be fine, to be honest. They're not as good as everybody thinks, but I think they'll recover. But yeah, definitely the Rams is the worst loss there for sure. The worst out of the two. What about, another big game that we thought was going to be a big game, the Steelers and the Bills just demolished the Steelers, Big Ree, 26-7. They outgained the Steelers 372 to 166, and the Steelers were at home.
Yeah.
And so what is this? What do you make of this loss of the Steelers? They're 6-6 now.
I mean, Rodgers got hurt once, so, and then the Bills always like play good tag. Like they have a great game, then they suck the next week. So I don't know what to say about the Bills unless if they win this weekend, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, hey, they're back on track.
Yeah. I mean, my thought here is like, look, I mean, you said, first of all, Bills very inconsistent. You don't know what to make of these guys. Early on, it's like, oh, they're the Super Bowl favorite. Then just a few games ago, like, oh, these guys are done. And they come back and, they're winning some games against the Bucks. They beat the Steelers. But, really the Steelers 6-6. There's a lot of talk about how Aaron Rodgers is not doing enough. Mike Tomlin is a big issue here, and they're talking about that. But honestly, my whole beef here is not with Aaron Rodgers, is not with Mike Tomlin. My whole beef here is with the organization, upper management, the GM here. You guys came into this season waiting to the last minute to sign Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, partial, that's his fault too, probably playing games, but that's your fault as you guys allowed that to happen. And then you traded for DK Metcalf. Like, okay, now we're going to have a number 1 and 2 wide receiver with George Pickens, right? Because Pickens is good, but dude, they had nobody else. So you're going to have DK Metcalf. At the one point, you had DK Metcalf, George Pickens, and Austin. And then you got your tight ends. Like, hey, that's a solid receiving crop right there. But then you traded away George Pickens and said, oh, we got DK Metcalf, that's enough? And Calvin Austin is our number 2? So you guys have no receivers outside of DK Metcalf. And then Najee Harris bounced, and what? You guys signed Kenneth Gainwell?
Well, they have Jalen Warren. He's playing good.
Okay, but he's not a number 1. Jalen Warren is not a number 1. What? He's a 1A or 1B.
I don't think Najee is either.
He's not. He's not. I agree. But you have to replace them. You got to get somebody in there. You can't just let him go and say, we're going to give it to Warren. They don't have enough offensive weapons. They were set up here. And then on top of all of that, their defense looks bad. Like, you traded, Minka Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, that was bad.
And I like Ramsey, but, I mean,
that was bad.
There's a lot of bad moves that the GM made here. Yeah. And so I don't blame Tomlin. He's shown for the longest that he's a really good coach. And yes, obviously, they haven't been winning much playoff games, right? Yeah. But they're winning every year and they're making the playoffs. And some organizations, they're just not going to win the championship every year. That's just what it is.
Yeah, of course.
You got to be happy that you're competing every year. So, should Tomlin be on the hot seat? Absolutely not. You got other personnel issues that you guys need to fix before you can start blaming Mike Tomlin. Absolutely not is Mike Tomlin on the hot seat. And anybody that says it doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. I want to make that loud and clear. Has no idea what the hell they're talking about. Colts, Big Ree, are they pretenders or are they contenders? Because they lost 2016 to the Texans. They started off 7-1. They are 1-3 since, 8-4. What do you make of the Colts, Big Ree?
I don't know. Obviously, I picked the Colts. It was my lock of the week, and these guys just complete doozy. Obviously, he started 7-1, and then now things are just really showing. Their true colors are showing. Jonathan Taylor has fallen off. Daniel Jones is not playing good, so it's everything is just falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think that they started off hot. They kind of had a weak schedule. They had a lucky win against Denver early on that they should have lost. And Taylor was playing, MVP football. Daniel Jones was playing great. He's still playing solid. Like, I got to give him credit. He's playing solid. But they're starting to play some better teams, and it's starting to show. And I think, these guys are not a 13-win team. And this is a top-tier team. Yeah, they're a fringe playoff team. That's what they are, and that's what they're regressing to. And so, are they a contender? Absolutely not. They're not a contender. They're definitely a pretender. I think if they can make if they make the wild card, I don't even think they're going to win the division here, to be honest. I think Houston or Jacksonville is going to win. I think Houston ends up winning the division, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they're a pretender. I think if they make the wild card, I think that's a huge win for them. Huge win on their season. Big Reed, between the 6-6 Chiefs, the 6-6 Ravens, or the 8-4 Eagles, who do you have more belief in that can make a run to the playoffs and run to the Super Bowl out of these three teams?
It's really tough because it's always hard to go against Patrick Mahomes, as I said. I always don't buy the Eagles, but they've won the Super Bowl last year, and every time I say that, then they go have a great weekend. So I don't know. If I had to pick, gun to my head, I would say the Chiefs still.
That you still think they can make a run?
Yeah, until they're mathematically out. If they lose this weekend, they're in big trouble. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs, I want them to make the playoffs. I think once they're in, they could beat anybody, right?
Yeah.
And you can't write them off. But they have a tough road ahead of them. They got to win, right? And but once they get in, they can beat anybody. The Ravens, I just don't know what to make of them. I honestly think their offense is decent and they have a good team, but I think their defense is just horrible. And I don't trust their defense. Along with like Lamar seems like he's got other stuff on his mind, and I don't trust. So I would say the Ravens are number 3 out of these 3 teams.
Yeah.
And I personally think the Eagles have a good team. They have the talent level. I think their defense has been playing underperforming. Saquon has been underperforming. I don't trust Nick Sirianni, even though he won a Super Bowl. I think that's a negative for them, Sirianni as the coach. But I think this distraction of A.J. Brown has influenced how they've been playing games. And I think they need who cares about A.J. Brown? Who cares if he wants to cry? At the end of the day, you're there to win games. We're there to win the game. That's it. And they were winning until they decided to listen to A.J. Brown and start feeding him the ball. Here's an interesting stat for you, Big Ree. When Jalen Hurts throws the ball, throws for under 200 yards, they're 6-0. That's an interesting stat. When he forces that, when he goes over, they're losing games. And I think the Eagles, that's a big if they can just say, hey, we're not going to worry about anybody else. We're just going to play our game, play to our strength. And Sirianni just can lean on his coordinators. I trust the Eagles. But I said this earlier last week, the Eagles are done, so I don't trust Sirianni.
Yeah.
But I have hope. You never know. They did it last year. They could do it again. If the Chiefs get in the playoffs, they'll be interesting. But if I had to say, I would say the Eagles out of those 3 teams. All right, Big Ree. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's going to be, we got 5 more weeks to go in NFL. And so it should be, a lot of close races. So,
Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment.